You held me in your arms and wiped away my tears. Not even in a million years can I ever repay you for what you've done for me. You were there when I felt that there was no place for me. You were there to show me how to truly believe in the miracle of creation, in the good and the bad. Oh, how I love you, Mom and Dad.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Nazir, son of Nazir of the family Al-Mujaahid, and one of the founders of OutstandingMuslimParents.com, and I'm excited today that you're tuning in to Outstanding Parents here at Huda TV. And you already should understand, if you don't already know, that this is the zone where we encourage parents to be outstanding. Because why be average? Especially when you understand that average is nothing but the top of the bottom or the bottom of the top. So, alhamdulillah, if you've seen the other episodes, which of course we encourage you to do, you know that we like to reach out to you, we like to engage with you, we give you worksheets, and we give you different assignments. And we talked about values and belief systems, how to create them, how to change them, how to affect children's behavior. We talked about the importance of identity. We talked about love stories and marriage and modeling and the roles that parents have. So alhamdulillah, we covered a lot of different things. And today, I'd like to talk about what some parents have already done and what some have chosen to do that's different than what we talked about. Because most of the stuff that we're discussing is really if you're in your hometown, in your home country, and you're kind of staying put. Some parents, alhamdulillah, I've had some friends of mine that have made hijrah to Muslim countries. They said, you know what, I want to just go ahead and be in a more Islamic environment so that I'm in the masjid, so my children can speak Arabic, so that, you know, there are less distractions with raising my children. So some people have done it successfully. Other people have done it where they just see, you know, more Western problems in the Muslim world and kind of were disheartened by it, depending on what they're looking for. Okay, if you're looking for good or you're looking for something else, you're likely to find it because that's what your brain wants. That's kind of the command you're giving it. Nevertheless, I really want to talk about parenting just in general right now, because we can talk about so many different strategies and we could talk about different techniques and tactics, but ultimately what we're talking about and discussing and going deep into is becoming better. Becoming better. It's a commitment to becoming outstanding and living that way on a daily basis. As long as you have the title father, as long as you have the title mother, well, then alhamdulillah, you strive to be outstanding. And as time goes on, and if, you know, Allah Ta'ala knows best, but it's likely you'll get in addition to that parent title. So it'll go from, you know, father or mother to grandmother, grandfather, grand meaning big or large and strong, right? So inshallah Ta'ala, we want to do what we can now because we understand that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. So it's best for us to take action while they're small or while they're still in our home, while people are still together in the family, as opposed to waiting until they're gone. Or, I wish I'd have done that when I was younger. Or I should have did this. Or I could have, but I didn't. Okay, instead of focusing on the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, we can focus on getting better now. Because as we get better, so does everything around us. Minimally, our perception of things gets better. Okay, and we spoke about how, you know, sometimes we think we know best when we don't. Sometimes we figure something is a bad thing when it's actually a good thing. You know, and we recognize it's a good thing after we get the lesson from it, saying that Allah Ta'ala was preparing us for something. So again, we have to get better. And as long as you commit to excellence, as long as you commit to taking action as opposed to just being passive, then you will reap some rewards. Then you will see and be able to chart your growth. Then you can go ahead and reflect on the different techniques that we gave you so far as an example, writing in a journal and keeping track of your growth, keeping track of your children's growth, making FAM goals. You know, FAM, F-A-M, F for fun and fulfilling, A for actionable, and M for measurable. So when you check in on these goals or these desired outcomes, as I like to call it, you can see how much progress you've made. And alhamdulillah, you can be grateful about it, but more importantly, or equally as important, I should say, you can celebrate it. See, sometimes we have so many things on our plate, meaning that we have to do this and we have to get these things done, and we're achieving and having some accomplishments, but we don't stop to celebrate that accomplishment because it's on to the next goal. And when that happens, we get tired, we get worn out, and we don't reflect upon the blessings that Allah Ta'ala has given us. And by not doing so, sometimes we can become ungrateful, where it's, I'm just so tired of ripping and running, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. As opposed to say, you know what, alhamdulillah, I came from not knowing this. Now I implemented this thing, and this has worked good or best for my family here. This has worked for my son or my daughter here, but not for my other son or daughter. This actually works better. So you're actually able to take different strategies and techniques and customize them. Because isn't that what we all are? We talk about we're all individuals. Right now there's over 7 billion people on the planet. And being individuals and being specials, not everything fits for everybody. So if you have a son, daughter, more or daughters or sons or a mix of both, then you know neither of them are exactly just alike. Even if you have twins, they may look exactly alike, but they have different personalities, right? Well, then it's our responsibility to find the differences, to tap into them. Because some children will thrive around other children as extroverts. These are the ones that go out of their way to help other people, and they're the life of the party and the crowd and stuff like that. Well, alhamdulillah, that's my wife. Okay? My wife is extroverted. Now, on the other hand, I'm an introvert. But watch this, though. I can get in front and speak to you, though, because I had some people see more of me than I saw myself at the time. So as I'm speaking and sharing with you, feeling comfortable doing it because I had to be ignorant at first to get intelligent over time, she doesn't want to do that. She should not get in front of a camera. It's not going to happen. My wife, nope, not in front of a camera. But being a gathering or being around other people that she doesn't know, doesn't matter if you're talking about the doctor's office, the grocery store, stores, friends' house, doesn't really matter. Life of the party, extrovert, social butterfly. Alhamdulillah. So it just shows different personalities, and many people, ask about that, because if you have a son or a daughter that's very outgoing or goes, they're children. Allah Ta'ala has given them this energy. We don't need to drug them up because they're being children, because their brains are growing very fast, because they're processing information differently than us. So your commitment to excellence is essential in the growth of your children. Why? Because they are going to be there and you're going to be there. We are not going to hit a plateau and stay neutral or stay on a certain level. We're either going up or we're going down. There's no in between. We're living and dying at the same time. As we're talking to you now, my body is creating brand new cells and other cells are dying off just like yours. This is stuff that we already know. So as that child grows from a little bitty baby that was a few pounds or kilograms, depending on where you are in the world, right? So this baby grew from being small to large and walking and being on their own and having these muscles and so on and so forth. Well, they don't have the same body as when they first came out. That old body died along with them and replaced itself with new in the same process of living. So we have to continually grow. We have to invest in ourselves if we want what's best. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. All right, that would be pompous and arrogant of me. But if you do want better, then it's a must. If you do want better, then we have to follow our own advice, because we have 3 roles. We have the celebrity, that role model. We have that confidant, and we have that coach. Well, when you look at these, all of these also fall with a mentor, and you are their first and most important mentors. And what do mentors do? They model the behavior or the thing that you're looking for. Or that might be how you were attracted to this mentor in the first place. They had something that you wanted. They also give you the inside scoop, the confidant. And they also let you know, hey, if you're doing something wrong or what needs to be corrected in your game. That's the mentor. That's what we're talking about, right? So if we need growth, well, we need mentors. Well, alhamdulillah, you tuned in to outstanding parents. You tuned in to get some information, and may Allah Ta'ala make it easy for you. Allah Ta'ala make you hear my voice and be able to get some type of change, minimally, where it's very little, but it makes a big difference. Think about this. If you made 3/100ths of a % change daily. Not 1%, 3/100ths of a percent. Okay, that's decimal 0, decimal 0.03. And get my mathematics right? Okay, so 3/100ths of a percent. That means over the year, over 12 months, you will have changed 100%. 100%. You will have changed prayerfully towards progress 100%. Because it's the small things that make the difference over time. It's not the big things you do one time. Again, we talked about the importance of the small, gradual steps that are measurable. So if you're getting in shape, it's not that you work out 20 hours one day per month. It's that you spread that time out and give your body time to recuperate, let things settle in, let it tear itself down and build itself back up stronger. So we have the same thing with our children. We know that we have to build them up. We have to provide them the proper tools. We have to equip them. We have to give them love. We have to encourage them and remind them of their deen every step of the way and tie everything we can into it, because there's no separation between our deen and life. If there's separation between deen and our life, that means you're dead. And subhanAllah, we don't want to go there. We don't want to separate deen and life while they're living. So, inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to talk about what some parents have done and some things that you could possibly do yourself. All right, especially when it comes to time. So with that, stay with us until after the break, inshallah, and we go into these strategies. See you in a minute.
Oh, how I love you, Mom and Dad.
Allah mentions Arabic words in Quran 11 times. This might be a sign for us to know the importance of studying Quran and studying Arabic language, because it's the door to know more about Quran. Ubay ibn Ka'b, one of the most important Sahabas, advised the Sahaba, telling them, teach your children Arabic like you teach them to memorize Quran. See how important it was. And they are Arabs. Umar ibn al-Khattab, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, said, learn Arabic because it is part of your religion. Arabic is part of our religion. So how are we going to study Arabic and learn Arabic together in this course? This basic Arabic course contains 7 levels, starting with the 0 level, the ground level. Each level contains 13 sessions, 45 minutes each, and we have 2 quizzes in each course, and we have the final exam. So inshallah, by this, our objectives is to have a very good domain of the Arabic language, especially when it comes to reading Islamic books. So we're going to be introducing Islamic vocab throughout the course. So go ahead, please, and enroll in our basic Arabic course, as Arabic is the official language of more than 20 countries, and Arabic is the key and the door of all Islamic sciences. So please do enter this door from the correct way, Arabic language.
Huda Academy, your gateway to authentic Islamic knowledge.
Oh, how I love you, Mom and Dad.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back. All right. Now, before the break, I promised to talk about what some parents have done. Now, alhamdulillah, I have a friend of mine that he made hijrah to a Muslim country, and he asked me a question. And it was very pointed at the time, and I really didn't get at what he was saying, because it was a long time ago, and there wasn't really an issue for us at the time. But he said, I'm going to go to the Muslim world. I'm going to, go and study and do some stuff and raise my family and so on, and, see how things are. And I was like, alhamdulillah, congratulate him any way I could help, and so on and so forth. And my plan, is staying, in the West, where I currently live in the United States. And he asked me, he said, how are you going to keep your kids grounded growing up here in the West? And I thought about that. I thought like, wow, guess I never really did think about it that far ahead, because at the time, I think my oldest child, she was maybe 6 or 7 years old at the time. But alhamdulillah, I told him, I let him know that it's what we do inside our house. It's what we do. It's the plan that we have and will develop that inshallah ta'ala will keep my children strong on the deen and keep them firm in Islam, even in the West, even in what some call the belly of the beast. Well, thinking about that, recognize a number of things. I had to really make a decision. Again, not a wish, because we already know about wishes, right? I say it frequently. A wish changes nothing, but a decision changes everything. So I made a decision. And that decision was, we want to create a fortress. We want to create a fortress that talks about Islam, the strength, the beauty of Islam, and we want to have this to protect our children. But at the same time, when you build a fortress many times to protect them from the outside influences, then you also stop different other good influences from coming in. However, I understood that fortress only has to be there until that child is well equipped and trained to deal with the outside. So, prime example. In Jahiliyyah, I had a tattoo on my arm. And when my daughter, she saw the tattoo, and she's getting older and was maybe 2 years old at the time, started talking a little bit, and she noticed it. And she asked me something about it. I knew, hey, you know what? I got to get rid of this. This is from Jahiliyyah. And I didn't want it. I was not part of that anymore. That lifestyle that I was living at the time was not part of what I wanted to be. Changed my name, changed my entire lifestyle. I didn't want something on me that, number one, I knew was haram, after, of course, being Muslim. But, my daughter, I didn't want them to be around and to have to answer those types of questions as they grew older. So I got laser surgery to get it taken off, which is a lot more painful than getting the tattoo to begin with, by the way. They take this laser and they pop the ink under it in blisters and boils and stuff like that. And it makes you think about Jahannam, where the fire of this life, the hottest fire that we can even imagine in this life that we know, seeks refuge with Allah Ta'ala from the fire of the Akhirah. And there's 73 different parts of fire. But that's a different conversation. But I wanted to give an entirely different perspective. Now, my children they should understand the struggle that their parents went through to come to Islam, to accept Islam, to be seeking the truth, and finally having our hearts open and our eyes open to Islam. Alhamdulillah is a mercy. Now, how could I as a parent get off track and not try to instill that in them? See, they would never, in Allah Ta'ala forbid, they ever experience kufr themselves. Oh, they experience it every day. They experience it with relatives. They experience from the outside, but not on the inside. See, some of us have to be more vigilant when it comes to protecting our families against the media influence. Because, we would not allow our children to go to some kuffar, to some non-Muslims, and the non-Muslim teach them about moral values. But at the same time, they turn on the cable box. We allow the kuffar right inside our homes, captive audience right there with our children as they go ahead and do all kind of other stuff on screen, and they're teaching our children their moral values. We give them access to the internet unrestricted with everything. We give them tablets and devices with all kind of stuff without, really thinking about what's going on. So we're allowing the kuffar, these non-Muslims, to teach our children about moral values or lack thereof. I knew that I didn't want to be part of that. See, I knew when I came up, the stuff that I listened to, the stuff that I watched, many things influenced me. And I wanted to make sure I didn't allow those same things haphazardly to influence my brand new Muslim children, who are first generation Muslims, because their parents said, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, wa Muhammad abduhu wa rasuluhu. So there was no way. We wanted to go back to kufr. There's no way. I want to be Muslim and strong and allow this next generation to fall off, even at the expense of earning cash. Now, why is that important? We talked in the episode about finances. We have to understand that children spell love Time. They spell it time. The time you spend with them. Not that it has to be a huge quantity of time, but the time should be quality. The time should be loving. It should be nurturing. The time should be teaching. And if that's the case, that time is beneficial for your children. That time with equipping them with the armor they'll need, and at the same time, the softness and the warmth and the growth of your love, inshallah ta'ala, will be enough to equip them to go out and deal with kufr. to know what it is, to recognize it, but they have that filter. So now when someone says, you know what, oh, you know, you really shouldn't wear that khimar, or you shouldn't do this, or go ahead, get some skinny jeans, bro, you know, whatever, right? Now they had this filter that says, no, man, hold on. You know, you trying to be like them. My parents didn't come from Jahil to come back to that. You trying to be who they were? Man, no, that's not even cool. We have something better than that. We have something that's relevant today. But it takes time to build it up and to equip that and to put that equipment on. So one of the great things is to have a mentor. One of the great things is to find somebody who's been there and done that, who's done something differently and got different results than you experience. Now, all children are different. Like we initially said at the beginning of this program, it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We just have to relieve our responsibility. We have to do the best we can with the information we have. We need to search something out, join a program, read some more books, listen to some audios, go to a workshop, invite some brothers to come speak in your country, inshallah, that have already been there and done that are currently going through the struggle, that actually have some actionable stuff available. Not something that you're going to say, you know what, here's the solution. Take them to the masjid, leave them in the masjid with the sheikh, take them to Sunday school on Sundays, and inshallah they'll be okay. And just make dua for them. No, though those are good depending on the quality of the masjid, depending on the quality of the school, it's still our responsibility as parents to raise them up. And to raise them up in Islam while we're teaching them about this dunya. While we are teaching them about this dunya. Now, the dunya is not necessarily bad in and of itself. We know the dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhabin nar. Oh Allah, give us the best of the dunya in this life, the best of the hereafter, and shade us from the torment of the hellfire. So we're not just raising a child to be spiritually religious per se, to do rituals and not be able to deal with real life. No, these are the guiding principles and morals that lead someone to Jannah, but they still deal in real life. We look at the Prophet ﷺ and his companions. We don't have monks in Islam. So my whole point in telling you this is that when a brother left, he said, you know, I'm leaving to put my children in a better environment. Well, alhamdulillah, his children speak the language very well. He's doing very well with his family, but time leverage. And in the society that we live in today with technology, the brother chose to get involved with the internet and to try to earn cash and stuff over the internet. So he helps people build internet businesses and stuff like that. And that's just one option. Many people have already heard about different books and doing different stuff online. But I admire the one who takes it to another country, because now that business does not leave someone hanging. That does not require mobility. And the other thing about the internet, when you set up automation, you can set something up, and should something happen to you, that business can continue to go. Or if you're traveling, the business can continue to go. And right now I'm in Egypt. And for those of you who know the beginning parts of the Arab Spring, you know that the internet was cut off for 5-6 days. Mobile communications and the uprising, subhanAllah, was a whole nother thing that occurred. But the brother set up some systems, alhamdulillah, that kept going. That kept allowing the business to go, that kept allowing them to be able to take care of their families during that time. So I encourage people to get more information. That's why I said go to MuslimMoneyMan.com. So these things, and we're going to give you some resources of different people that are doing some great things. They're doing Islamic projects. The great part is your wealth, if you want your wealth to 100% be halal, one of the great things we found is to produce something yourself of value and offer it to people. Help people build. The great part is now the best commodity out there is your mind, is the way you think. It's not necessarily your hands anymore to have to be out in a real hot field. No, it's the mind and the way you think. So if you, if you're dedicated to growing, if you're committed to excellence, you're committed to growing to be outstanding, then it's our responsibility to educate ourselves. Yes, education. Not necessarily schooling, but education. Big, big difference. But if we're growing as parents, we're getting more resources that we need. We're on OutstandingMuslimParents.com. We're getting the worksheets. We're engaged in different programs. We're investing in our family as opposed to just spending on our family. When you spend, it's gone. When you invest, it comes back. That's the intention that we have, right? We want to invest in our children so that it comes back. Why? Well, alhamdulillah, because we want to be happily selfish. Yeah, I know. Almost sounds like an oxymoron. How can you be happily selfish? Well, we know there's 3 things that benefit you after death, and one of those is when a righteous child prays for you. So we want to be selfish. We want to help that child be righteous. We want them to get Jannah, but we also want, after we go, if we die before them, we also want to get those extra blessings. Happily selfish. We should be selfish when it comes to getting barakah. We should be selfish when it comes to seeing other Muslims, and we greet them with a smile, with assalamu alaikum first. We get more barakah. We get more blessings. We should be selfish with it because Allah Ta'ala is the most generous. So it's our responsibility to continue to grow in the areas of finance and physical health and growing and so on, because we want to instill these same principles that we are applying in our children to become better than we are. Isn't that what we all want ultimately? For them to become better than we are and meet them in Jannah. So with that, what I want you to do is go to outstandingmuslimparents.com/balance. outstandingmuslimparents.com/balance. Get the notes for today. Get the resources. If you want to contact directly with the brother who does internet marketing, stuff like that, I'd love to share his information with you. Go get the worksheet. So until we meet again, Jazakumullahu khair, we appreciate you being here. And know that I'm Nazir, the son of Nasib of the family Al-Mujaahid, reminding you that a wish changes nothing, but a decision changes everything. So take care and take charge. We will see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
While my world was crumbling down, and you tried your best to shelter me from the coming of the storm, you opened my eyes to see that all hope was not gone. You held me in your arms and wiped away my tears. Not even in a million years can I ever repay you for what you've done for me. You were there when I felt that there was no place for me. You were there to show me how to truly believe in the miracle of creation, in the good